All right, thank you so much for joining in for this session, which is episode 2 of On Duty with Joram. So this session, what we are going to be doing is we are going to continue from where we left last time, because it's a continuation, it's a series. We are running this program for 6 weeks, and we're going to just be continuing from where we left last time. You can confirm if my screen is audible. Yeah. Sorry if you can hear me and if my screen is. All right, so what we are going to be looking at basically is a recap of what we did last time. And we are going to be looking at JCI leadership, which is what we're going to be looking in this session. Then in this episode, of course, and leadership positions and responsibilities, elected posts, hierarchy up to international level. So basically, that's what we're going to be covering in this session. And yeah, stay tuned so that we move together. All right, since it's something that we did last time, I'm going to be starting with the JCI creed so that we familiarize with it, what it means, so that it sinks inside us in terms of what it does and how it actually operates. So we have the JCI creed. We believe that faith in God brings meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of men transcends the separation of nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that governance should be of laws rather than of men, that the earth's great treasure lies in human personality, and that service to humanity is the best work of life. Then the JCI vision is to be the leading global network of young active citizens. And the JCI mission is to provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. So I did go through this so that if they become a part of us, we realize and we make them a part of us. Okay, we're going to start with a recap of what we did last time. I'm not going to ask you more because last time I think we discussed a lot about JCI, what JCI is, the elevator pitch, the areas of opportunities, the actions in which the areas of opportunities lie. And we talked about what an ideal JCI member is. And due to time, I'm not going to ask you the floor to share what it is. I'm just going to give you a rundown of some of the talking points that we discussed, that we got from the Engage, Empower, Grow training. So we had that screenshot that we were using last time. And on this screenshot were some of these items. I remember number one, there was that you need to be committed. You need to be dedicated. One is to be educated. One need to be between 18 and 40. What else? What else? Yes, you can help me, of course. Yes. Excellent. One is to be a leader, and one is to be with a drive for development, for community development. So basically, those are some of the, not all, but some of the characteristics or qualities of an ideal JCI. And the question is, are you an ideal JCI member? What do you think? Do you think you have these characteristics for the JC of what a JCI member can be? If you don't have, do you think you are willing to develop these characteristics or traits as a JCI member? So let me in the comment section if you are interested, but I don't want to take much of your time so that we quickly have this session. I want to just make it a short one. A disclaimer is this is not a training, but it's story time whereby what I seek to do is to try to help you discover, help you explore, and help you even adventure in JCI. And you cannot do that when you do not know how to. And what I am doing here is to give you an outline, is making you know what things are there and what things you can actually get into. Let's get into it. JCI leadership. We are going to be talking about leadership in terms of positions, offices, and responsibilities. So when one comes in JCI, usually, I guess, you have just heard about JCI from a friend, from a relative, from your boss at work. I mean, you have just got it through social media, you've seen it in a flyer, you've been invited. So you're a guest. The next thing is I am a prospective member. I'm thinking I need to join JCI for some reason. I've liked this and I want to be a member. So I became a prospective member for maybe 3 months or more, depending with how passionate I am. I pay my joining fee and I start my journey. Usually when I'm a prospective member, I am told what projects are there and I join a project. So you become a project member. If too privileged, I become a project director, whilst I'm still a prospective member, which is a plus. So I start with on a high note of leadership. The first leadership is a project member, yes, but when you become a project director, it's double that. So your responsibility becomes more. And maybe wow, I become a project director maybe the next year that I joined JCI, which is the following year. I serve as a project director. The next thing I now serve as a local officer. Wow, those board members now in courts, you're now a board member. So you are either a treasurer, a vice president, those secretary general. But we're going to talk more about it. So basically, that's the journey when we are talking about it. Local officers' positions is what I was trying to talk to. So we have appointed offices and we have elected offices. Usually we have the local treasurer, secretary general, general legal counsel, special assistant to the local president, partnerships director. These usually are appointed by the local president. They report directly to the local president. Then we have elected offices whereby people actually do get nominated, accept nomination, get to campaign, and gets to be voted for the actual elections that need to happen for these people to be in office. We have public relations director, short is PRD. We have vice president individual membership, short is VPI or VPM. We have vice president business. We have vice president international. We have vice president, executive vice president, which is an EVP, and local president, which is an LP. So these are elected posts where people actually get to vote for these positions. So this gets interesting. So I'm not going to get into detail of what each position does, like what's required of each position. These are some of the things that you'll find in the Constitution. I'm here just to give you an outline so that you actually know that these are some of the positions you can actually get in the offices of JCI, and it's part of the leadership. It grows your leadership when you start to get engaged in such hierarchies. Let's get in more. Then bylaw 2, yeah, so this is part of the JCI City Constitution, which I took. So this is the duties of officers in general. They carry out duties assigned by the local president in the job description. So any local officer in the board, they carry duties assigned by the local organization president in the job description. They make recommendations to the local president with respect to their assigned duties. They attend all meetings in courts for the local organization and the executive committee. They make every effort to attend JCI Zimbabwe functions, meetings, and sister local organizations, presidential dinners. So you see, this is in Constitution, and people need to know this. We need to take in consideration that you have to be attending all meetings. As long as you're a board member, you need to attend all meetings. There is no exception to that. One needs to be making effort to attend JCI Zimbabwe programs. As long as you're a JCI city local board member, you need to attend almost all JCI Zimbabwe programs. We have recharge, we have NatCon, we have presidential meetings. We need to attend all those JCI Zimbabwe social programs, trainings. As long as you're a local officer, you need to attend those. And also sister organizations programs and presidential induction dinners. One needs to do that. Promote purpose of the organization, conduct themselves in a manner befitting of officers of the local organization. Complete all projects adopted by the membership and send to his or her portfolio, including chairman, planning guides. Submit all final reports from his or portfolio for the final meeting of the outgoing executive committee meeting. So one also needs to do his or her reports, which means the moment you become a local officer, you have a report that you need to be doing. Transfer his or her portfolio and local organization property to the local organization president or secretary for inclusion in your final report. So you have it. More information is on the Constitution. I just thought of taking this part from the Constitution so that people actually know. One then takes an oath when they become a JCI member. When they become a JCI member, and one also takes an oath of office when they become a local officer. It is very important. This was done deliberately. When you take an oath of office, you are committing to something. It's more than that being an officer. It's about you committing to the cause. And I'm going to read through what the oath of office says so that we actually get an idea of what it means. I, your name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of. So the issue of faithfulness and execution of, and you say your office, for example, this year I took it as vice president business of JCICT and will to the best of my ability. This is one of the best lines on this oath. To the best of my ability. One is to give it your 120%, more than the 100%, more than what you think you can actually do. It's a matter of committing yourself and doing it wholeheartedly to this office. Serve as a living example of this organization philosophy. When one thinks of JCI and they look at you, they need to see JCI because you are now a local officer, and believe and will uphold and enforce the constitution of this organization at all times. And it's very crucial that every local officer knows the constitution and they at all times regard the constitution and follow it religiously. All officers shall serve voluntarily without financial remuneration. So JCICT is a membership, JCI in general is a membership-driven organization, and we work with our subscriptions. There are no remunerations. We don't have local officers being paid. They do it voluntarily. So it's dedicated members doing it out of dedication and commitment. No remuneration is motivation, but it's self-driven people doing it for the sake of personal development and for the sake of the community they want to see getting better. Then we get to JCI leadership, our local officers of positions. We have talked about them. In the Constitution, one will find all positions listed with the minimum requirements to attend position and the duties, what's expected of the person on that role. Time constrains me to get into that, but when you get into the Constitution, it's highlighted what's required of you to be a local treasurer, how many years do you need to have served, and what's expected of you that you need to have done for that time, during that time. So you get into the Constitution, and please get to look into that. What I'm here to do is so that you actually know that these things exist. So if you know these things, then you're good to go. All right, I just tried to come up with a leadership pyramid here of how things work in JCI in terms of the leadership. So the leadership pyramid, you're saying you start with your project director, you become a local officer, that's a board member. You become a local president. Yeah, so becoming a board member is okay, but becoming a local president is something that is beyond. It has its own level. So I had to highlight that you become a local president there, and becoming a local president offers you opportunities to go into the horizon of national. You become a national officer. You can become national officers. For example, we have national vice presidents, we have national treasurers, national secretary general. These are some of the offices that become when you become a national officer or a national board. Then there is an opportunity when you become a national president. There's an opportunity that comes after to become regional officers now. So you become part of the international part leadership. Some become international vice presidents, and so forth as the ladder goes. We now have the international board, which actually is sitting right now. We have international vice presidents, international executive vice president, and we have the uh, president, JCI president, board president. So this is how we get to it. But what I can say is opportunities and responsibilities. They used to grow as you grow your portfolio. When you're a project director, maybe you're exposed to your supervisors, you're exposed to your project members, you're exposed to a certain level of responsibilities and opportunities. And when you become a local officer, you're exposed to more responsibilities, but also more opportunities. Maybe you're now meeting some of the senators, and because that's your role. Your role allows you to do that. Maybe a local president now is so opportunities start to grow the more you take more responsibility. You become a national officer, opportunities for you grow actually. You become a regional officer, it's even more. You now travel internationally because of duty actually. Out of duty, you now have to travel to China, you now have to travel to Hong Kong, India, you now have to travel to Germany. So it's a matter of what you need to be doing yourself and taking those roles. So definitely I wouldn't want anyone to end as a project director. I wouldn't want anyone to end as a local president. I would want people to pursue leadership. So everyone who is connected, please pursue leadership to its very last level that it can be. All right, I continue. I'm left with a few slides. So this is storytelling time, guys. I'm not trying to be doing a training here. I'm just highlighting things on this journey. Take it as a journey on this JCI leadership journey, things that you need to know so that you get to, you have an exciting journey. You get to discover things, you get to explore them and experience them, and you get to create an adventure of your own. Like our JCI journeys are not the same, and we are going to have unique journeys distinct to us that we are going to enjoy according to what we need. Okay, so how to get started? I would say you need to sit down with your mentor and discuss what uh, your JCI leadership. So the first thing when you become a member, you're assigned a mentor, and you need to get to discuss with your mentor your JCI goals, your intentions, your JCI roadmap, where you see yourself in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years, 3 years, so that you get a clear journey of where you are going and the person you are becoming and those kind of things. It's also important at this time that you have a background check. So this is an encouragement to the mentors and also to you, the mentees. You have time to talk about your background with your mentor. Your mentor needs to know about your personal ambitions. Why did you join JCI? Why are you there, and why do you seek to do whatever you wish to do? Because it's about you after all. So the mentor is there to guide you and to give you the guideline as to what's best for you, because he or she has walked the journey that you want to walk. So he or she knows how you can actually maneuver well, but you also need to share that background as to where you are coming from and where you intend to go. with your journey, be it in leadership, your career, and etc., so that you might be able to help each other there. Then leadership is a must in JCI. JCI offers development opportunities through doing, be the change you want to see. So if there is anything that you're not happy with that is happening in JCI, be it as a project member, seek to share it with your project director, but more seek to address it when you get to that level. So you can actually set your goal for being a local president. First, yes, to a project director. There's something that you are seeing that, you know what, if this thing is done, I am sure it will help membership retention, or it will develop certain area, or it will increase the areas of opportunities. Make that your goal, because whatever that you want to see is up to you. So you can start to plan those things so that they come to life, and you are responsible because you are a leader. Being in JCI and not holding an office is like a registered gym member without a gym slot. You have paid, of course, yes, you have the receipts, yes, but you're not working out. So you can't be just become a JCI member and you don't have a role that you're playing. You can't. You're not working out, you're not developing yourself, and you're not also developing your community. All right, I think I have exhausted more about leadership. I think I have talked about the leadership structures and how one can get started. But one of the very most important things that I felt I should share was this form, which is the technical assessment form. So my experience with the technical form was last year. I joined the JCI and became a project treasurer. Then I became local treasurer. I served as a local officer, local treasurer. But now transitioning from that position is something that was exciting for me. If I had to say, I wanted to become local president. That was my goal. From local treasurer, it's something that I would need a lot of time to share with you guys, but it was an interesting ambition. However, when I got to this technical assessment form, it taught me lessons. The lesson was, whatever that you're doing in JCI, you're doing it for you. And JCI gives you a scale whereby you can actually measure yourself. It is through this form that you can actually see the progress that you have been making. So when you are attending a meeting and there's a training and you attend, you're not doing it for the local president or for the organizers, you're doing it for you. When you hear that there is a social, you're not doing it for anyone, you're doing it for you. When you hear that there is an event, there is recharge, there is NetCon, you are not doing it for anyone, you are doing it for you. And when we go through this, you're going to see what it means. So you are asked, when you now have come through the nomination process, have been nominated, this form is sent to you and you fill in this form. So this form asks you a lot of things, and we are going to just quickly rush through it. So it asks you just joined if more than 7 years. So these are, when you say the rating, these are points that you'll be giving yourself. So date joined, if 7 or more years, you give yourself a 5. If 6, you give yourself a 4 or out of 5. If 5, you give a 3. If 4, you give a 2 out of 5. If less than 3 years, you give yourself a 0 out of 5. So probably you know what's your rating there. Then service, it asks you about how you have been serving. If you served as a project officer, you give yourself a 5. If yes, if not, you give yourself a 0. So it's important for you to be part of a project. When you join JCI and not part of a project, then you are losing yourself there. You served as a project director, you give yourself a 5. If not, you give yourself a 0. Current local office, if the EVP, you give yourself a 5. If any other officer, you give yourself a 4. Previous office is held. If more than 3, you give yourself, if 3, you give yourself a 5. If 2, you give yourself a 4. If one office, you give yourself a 3. If none, you give yourself a 0. Current local office performance. You are now rating yourself how you have been performing, maybe as a local treasurer, as a vice president business, as a vice president individual. You rate yourself there in terms of how good you were. Very bad, bad, good, very good, exceptional. And you know how you have been performing if you have been a local officer. I did find this form interesting. Event attendees, it's very important for one to attend events. You know what, never take it for granted to attend events. Here are they. National project, okay, PID, which is Presidential Induction Dinner, media conferences attended, national conventions attended, JCI African Middle East, AMEC. If you have attended World Congress, you will be rating yourself. Trainings attended. If you have attended the current local officers training or project director training, if you are you a graduate of signature courses, which are JCI Discover, JCI, those trainings. So empower, engage, grow, you have them, you have explore, you have adventure, those trainings. So these are signature courses that one is to have attended or trained. So these are found at local level and they are also found online. So you can actually attend trainings organized by South Africa, by JCI, Zambia, JCI, Botswana. That will be up to you. I go on to my last slide, second from last slide, personal financial investment. JCI, are you a member of the JCI Foundation? Are you paid up as a member? So it's also important. You cannot be a local officer. You cannot vie for a local position in the organization when you are not paid up. So it's very important for you to be paid up. To be paid up, you need to pay your subscriptions. So what happens is all these are added as percentage. So you rate yourself. I can share this form with you. Just inbox me or just text so that I share this form with you. I'll make this form available for you so that you can just rate yourself in the meantime where you are and you get a position. And these are given grades A, B, C, D, E. And these grades are used now in terms of validating you as a candidate for whatever local position that you are firing for in JCI City. It was interesting for me when I did it for the local president. Unfortunately, I hadn't attended in adequate trainings, I hadn't attended adequate events, and I had few years in the local organization. And yeah, I had to respect, we had to respect the constitution because it's clear. And I think that was one of the dumbest things that I did in my JCI career, not knowing what's expected of me. And one is to really know what's expected of them. In summary, what have we been talking about? We have been talking about JCI leadership. And it's one thing that you need to do. You just don't join JCI, you just don't attend meetings. You need to get involved and become a leader in JCI. You need to become a project member. Definitely. You need to become a project director. Definitely. You need to set your leadership goals. You need to sit down with your mentor, plan your JCI roadmap so that you are guided through, so that at least it's something that will keep you in the organization because you have something that you are looking forward to achieve in a certain period of time. And you also need to set goals of what you need to achieve in terms of skills that you need to develop. You have it. I think we have gone through this together. I thank you for tuning in and stay safe. Take care. Let's meet again next Sunday, same time, 7 p.m. and we do another session. This time it's going to be interesting as we discover and explore more things in JCI. But this is special mention. This was supposed to be, I think, episode 5, but I had to do this one with special mention that it's the season that we are already in. We end the season of leadership. Since 1 July, it was opened, nominations have been opened, And I'm encouraging you guys that you take it serious so that you start actually on your leadership journey in JCI. Thank you and take care. Goodbye. Oh yeah, goodbye. Goodbye.